Today on Frugal or Cheap, we're going to be planning the menu for the week. We're going to use a method that's called backwards planning. Backwards planning is when you take a look at what you have in your refrigerator, freezer, and pantry to help round out your meal plan for the week. Why we do this is so that you can save on food waste. Oftentimes, leftovers, partially used ingredients get shoved to the back of the refrigerator, and a week later you realize they've gone bad and you have to throw them out. Food waste is money waste, and that is not very frugal. We're going to use a couple of tools today, and one is, I'm going to check my notes, Supercook. I've never used it before, but you can put in your ingredients that you have in your pantry, refrigerator, and freezer, and it will generate a list of meal suggestions and recipes for you. Another tool we're going to use is Pantry Check. It's an app that you can download on your phone, and as you make your menu, you can add ingredients to your shopping list. So as we continue today, we're going to take a look at what I've got in the pantry, refrigerator, and freezer. So here we have most of the leftovers and things I want to use up from the freezer and the refrigerator and the pantry. I won't go over everything, I'll make the video too long. But as far as vegetables, let me get that in the camera shot, there's so much here. As far as vegetables, I've got some lemons, a couple of potatoes, a small bag of petite potatoes, red onion, 2 green onions, and 1 red onion that's trying to reproduce in my pantry. So I'll set those things aside. I also have leftovers. There's a little bit of meatloaf, some mashed potatoes, cooked carrots, and green beans, and chicken Alfredo. The breads, I've got a half a loaf of bread. I'm not even going to try to show these because it's just not getting into the shot. A half a loaf of bread, a package of slider buns, half a package of flour tortillas, bag of spinach, meats, pepperoni, partial bag of Atlantic cod, some Jimmy Dean little breakfast sausages, some Aldi sausage patties, eggs, pie crust, a block of cheese, some cream cheese, and some baby Swiss cheese, sweet potato fries, some guacamole, diced peppers, and diced onions. So what we'll do is I'm going to put these items into the Supercook website, see what they suggest, and I'm also going to kind of think through some of the things my family likes and what I've got here and what I can make. So stay tuned for the next part. Now, the first step is to prioritize what needs to be used up first. These leftovers from a couple of meals need to go first. There is enough chicken Alfredo for dinner tonight, and then there's enough leftover meatloaf and sides to go ahead and create a lunch for someone tomorrow. So that's the first step. We're going to get those out of the way. Right? We're going to get those out of the way and then start looking at menu planning for the rest of the week with the other ingredients. As I go through this process of meal planning, I will create a table in a Word document, and I'll list the days of the week, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then any notes, like who's going to be home, who's going to be gone, how many I'll be cooking for. So let's start with the dinners. As I was digging through, and I didn't mention this earlier, I found some pepperonis and some provolone cheese. So for me, that looks like pizza night. I may have to add some extra ingredients like the rest of the spinach for a salad. I'm not a big fan of pepperoni, so I'll probably just go with cheese or add to my shopping list Canadian bacon. The next meal, found some chicken I had thrown in the back of the freezer that was on sale for ridiculously low price considering nowadays. It was $1.99 a pound for some chicken breast. So I've got chicken breast. I thought I could make chicken cordon bleu. There will be some of these chicken breasts left over, and I'm still thinking about how to use those. So chicken cordon bleu, got a little bit of ham, and I had found some baby Swiss. So that'd be meal number 2. Atlantic cod, leftover spinach, and I've got 2 of these larger potatoes. That's going to be fish and chips night. The next meal, I've got a Sloppy Joe mix. I do have some beef in the freezer, and we'll make Sloppy Joes with that. With the Sloppy Joes, I've got, let me check here, partial bag of sweet potato fries. So we'll have that. Then using up the tortillas, that's going to be taco night. So ground beef, taco seasoning, the rest of the green onions. Excuse me, that's the dogs. Stop. Sorry. Cheddar cheese and the guacamole. The slider buns will also go with the Sloppy Joes, in case I didn't say that. So we've got Sloppy Joes, fish and chip, tacos, pizza night, chicken cordon bleu, and then I may take the rest of the chicken, because I've got a bag of mixed vegetables in the freezer, and use that with the pie crust to make a chicken pot pie. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So that looks like dinners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've almost got a whole week's worth of dinners that I can make from stuff I found in the freezer and in the refrigerator and pantry. So we'll come back and we'll take a look at some breakfast options from what I've got. So let's take a look at breakfast. I went ahead and put some things into Supercook, and it came up with a sausage breakfast casserole. So what I'll do is I'll dice up the rest of these patties, use some eggs, some of the green pepper, some of the red pepper, and the cheddar cheese to make a sausage casserole. It recommended some salsa, and I'm pretty sure back here in the fridge I've got about a half a jar of salsa. So the sausage casseroles, we'll probably get at least 2 breakfasts out of those. Maybe a little bit more, but I'm planning on 2. The next thing I'm going to do is take the little Jimmy Dean sausage links, and we'll have eggs and toast and fried potatoes for one meal. These little ones here. Supercook also recommended an omelet, and so I'll have eggs, a little bit more of the green pepper and onion, a little bit of the red pepper if I have any left, and some cheese to make omelets, plus some toast or fried potatoes. The next thing I did was check everybody's schedule, and it looks like there's going to be a couple of nights where people are not going to be home for dinner. So I imagine if I go back and look at that dinner menu that we came up with, there'll be leftovers for lunches. I didn't really factor in any lunches because there always are leftovers. I overcook every single time. This is a good thing to do at least once a month so that you can go through your pantry and your fridge and your freezer and kind of clear out some of those things that you don't use. An added bonus is it gives you an opportunity to reorganize what is in everything. Because if, like you, I start playing refrigerator Tetris at some point and I can't figure out what I've got. So I had to clean everything out, plan for the week, use what's on hand, and now I'm going to go to my app on my phone, Pantry Check, and start looking at the meals, making sure there's everything that I have. If not, I'll add it to the grocery list. I hope you enjoyed today's video and found it useful. Shopping in your pantry, backwards planning your menu, taking a look at what you need for the week is definitely a frugal tip. While I was in the pantry, I found a bag of pretzels, took some of that cheese, and I'm going to sit down and use my app to create my grocery list.